What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be a review of The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5, Episode 15. So, the ladies minus Monique are on their way to Portugal, right? Half the ladies I don't think know where they're going until they actually get on the plane. Because Robin said she thought she was going to Brazil. So, the only thing we see Monique meet up with Karen. And Karen says, listen, I just want to let you know that we're going to Portugal. It's a girls' trip. Ashley invited us, and Ashley wanted to invite you, and before Karen could really dig deep, Monique was like, it's cool, I get it. I'm really focused on my family. I'm really focused on things here. It's all good. And Monique said, she's actually eating and stuff, that, she's feeling a lot better. And she said that, well, when Ashley came to the podcast, and Karen was, again, apologetic that she couldn't make it, and Monique was like, yeah, I kind of wish you were there. She said, but Ashley told me that you made a statement to Candace that, if it were you, you would be pressing charges. Like, basically, you encouraged Candace to go a legal route. And this is what I love about Karen. Karen said, listen, all I'm going to say is if it was me, somebody going to jail because I can't fight. I love it because Karen she ain't backpedaling pussy pop. She ain't say, nope, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's not what I meant. She was like, listen, if it were me that got my ass beat, somebody going to jail because I can't fight. I can't do nothing but respect that. And Monique laughed, and I think they moved on, and so that was that. Then, of course, we see the ladies getting on the plane and all that good stuff. Somehow, Karen and Wendy ended up flying next to each other the whole day. Listen, now, they was in the air for 19 hours. Now, I thought, when I went to Africa, I didn't think we traveled that long, but Niecy said we did. But I don't feel like it took us that long to get to Africa, because 19 hours, that's a long damn time. But anyway, and I'm sure they didn't have a nonstop flight, but still, good Lord. Now, Ashley had this beautiful plan that while she was gone, the nanny would keep Dean during the day, and Michael would keep Dean at night and put him to bed. Ashley, what the hell made you think that was going to work? What made you think that Michael was going to step up and be super dad all of a sudden when, up until recently, I didn't even hear him call Dean by his name. He was always the baby, him. And I'm just sitting here like, okay. But that's the plan. We're going to see if it works. At least she ain't taking the baby. And I'm not, listen, because I feel like I give her credit for feeling comfortable enough to leave the country. And she should feel comfortable enough to leave the baby with his daddy. I mean, she should, So the ladies get to the hotel. It's a nice hotel. Everybody's got a suite. Baby, that bathtub and them rooms was everything. Do you hear me, boo? But nice rooms. Looks like they were staying at a nice place, the Savoy Palace. The first night they decide they're going to go to dinner at the hotel because everybody's a little sleep. Everybody got a little jet lag, a little sleepy and everything. So they're not going to try to do nothing real exciting. So they get to dinner and they're having a really decent conversation. Now, what we find out is that Monique did ask Lord, my phone. They're going to group chat. That Monique did ask Ashley to write a letter basically outlining what happened the year before at Candace's house. Excuse me. When Candace pulled that little butter knife on Ashley and, kind of ask about it or whatever. And Ashley agreed to do it because she said, listen, they kind of had our back when that whole situation went down last year. They could have really made it worse than what it was. She said, plus, me and Monique are friends. I've actually confided some things in friends. Like, Monique knew that me and Mike like to, swing around and invite other people into our bedroom. And she never told that secret. As a matter of fact, she acted like she was surprised to find out. And, Bravo, they ran that footage back to let people see it, child. That Monique acted like she was surprised when the whole thing went down. Let me turn my phone off because this is, So, of course, So she said, I know at some point I'm gonna have to let Candace know that I did write that letter. Because of course when they go to court, she's gonna find out. So I might as well go ahead and tell her now. Tell her now, tell her later. While they're at dinner, honey, the local drink is now they keep calling it the Poom Poom. I think it's called Puna or something like that, where it's, what was it, rum and pineapple juice or something. It sounded like it was a good drink, but honey, they kept calling it the Poo Poo and the Poo Poo and the Poo Poo. Now Wendy takes this opportunity to tell another story of her immigrant childhood, and of course she brings it back to Karen as to, well, I felt some kind of way about, Karen dismissing my degrees because my father, as an immigrant in this country that came over here with nothing, worked at a fast food restaurant, and he got promoted to manager. And he was so excited about being promoted to manager that he named his daughter after that restaurant, hence the name Wendy. So, baby, she is named after the damn Wendy's. Karen said, listen, I wasn't diminishing your degrees. And here goes Giselle. But you did. See, Giselle, that's why don't nobody fucking like you. That conversation that had nothing to do with you. That was between Karen and Wendy. And yes, Karen was... This is just so stupid. I ain't gonna rehash that. I said it last week. I ain't gonna rehash it. It is what it is. Karen wasn't trying to make fun of your damn degrees, okay? But of course, Wendy brought it up. Karen said what she said, and I guess we moved on. Then, they asked Ashley, "Are you okay? You leaving Michael?" Last time we went out of town, Michael was at the Boom Boom room and ended up with some Boom Boom in his hotel room. I mean, how you feeling? Ashley said she's feeling good. No, you're not, but it's okay. You can't admit it to nobody else till you admit it to yourself, and it is what it is. Then we get on Jamal, baby Karen, and listen, all Karen was doing, her only point she could care less about. I think Karen could care less about Giselle and Jamal, and I'm sure she has no interest in meeting Jamal or hanging out with Jamal. But what Karen was doing, and she said it was, you always feel like you have a right to know what everybody else's relationship is and what everybody else's relationship is about. And now that you are in a relationship, we ain't seen Jamal, we ain't heard from Jamal. All we know is that you and Jamal are dating. We ain't seen or heard, but you done seen him and you have an opinion about everybody else's relationship. And all Karen was saying is, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, boo. Where your man at? That's all we asking is, where your man at? Where your man at? That's all she wanted to know. Anyway, so Robin even said, yeah, it would be cool for us to meet Jamal. And Giselle was not feeling that. Giselle was not happy about that. She was like, really, Robin? Like, you supposed to have my back. So later on that night, Robin went by Giselle's room because, Robin knew she was in trouble, honey. She knew she was in trouble. And, but to Robin's defense, she really didn't back down from it. She said, listen, we do want to meet Jamal. We want to be around Jamal. And, all we were saying was, hey, bring him around or whatever. And Giselle was like, I can receive what you're saying, but at the time, I just didn't feel it at the time. Yeah, because she said, all I'm saying is when they coming for me, you need to have my back. Nah, see, no, Robin, you keep doing what you're doing. Because, we already know that you really just a lapdog for Giselle. But in this one, you kind of stood your ground on this one. You need to do that more often, girl. Anyway, but Giselle didn't like that. She didn't like people coming for her in her relationship. And all I'm saying is, you can dish. What the freak? I thought I had turned my ringer off, y'all. You can dish, but you can't take. And that's the problem. You can dish all this shit out, but you can't take it when it's back on you. Now, down the hall, we got Ashley looking for Michael because Michael ain't home. It's time for Dean to go to bed. The nanny is like, you ain't paying me for overtime, okay? Listen, it's time for Dean to go to bed. Ashley's calling Michael. Michael is like, listen, I'm on my way home now. Why are you tripping? Like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to have you second guessing me. I'm not going to have you, like, treating me like a child and, manhandling me. And he hung up on Ashley, honey. Now, Ashley said that Michael called back later on that night and apologized, and they worked through it, and she overreacted. No, what it was, you wasn't so much worried about Dean going to bed and being on his routine as you was that Michael ass wasn't home. Okay? Michael wasn't home, See, you thought that having to come home every night and put Dean to bed was going to keep him from going out there and running them streets. That's what it is. But when you called and he wasn't home and that nanny still had that baby, all the worst things that you could think of ran through your head. Now, I know that your child was part of it and your child being on this routine was part of it. I do believe that. But I also believe that a whole lot of that came down to Ashley's insecurities about the situation with Michael. Now, that's just my opinion. Okay. So the next day, the ladies go on the cable cars, and it looks nice, and looks like they had a good time. Ashley did confide in Karen about what had gone down the night before with Michael and her overreacting. And Karen said the same thing I said, child. Like, girl, you was overreacting, but you was overreacting because you was worried about what Michael was back home doing. Okay, we ain't stupid. And then of course Ashley, she got Karen's card too. She said Karen is basically coming for Giselle because of all the years that Giselle came for her. And she right, and it's okay. I'm here for all of it. Because Giselle has been a messy ass bitch for the last 5 seasons. So I'm here for all of it. Okay? Okay. So while they're on the cable cars, they divide up into groups of 3. And once again, because the night before, Wendy said that she was done with the whole degree conversation. She was putting a button on it, a pin on it, whatever. And Karen was like, cool. Like, all right, we done with it. Fine. But no. We go out to dinner, lunch, whatever. And Wendy brings up her damn degrees again. She talks about how hard she worked and what she had to go through and how long it took her to get her PhD. And she had 2 kids and lost her father. And her dissertation is 100 and something pages long. And her first page is dedicated to her family. And she worked hard. And no, I am not identified by my degrees, but I damn sure earned it. Yes, you are. Because you talk about them too damn much. You talk about those degrees too fucking much for them not to be a part of who you are. And you it's like Wendy with the 4 degrees, Wendy the PhD. Like you have to identify with that. That is who you. That is a part of who you are. That is a part of your mantra. And it hurt you that you felt like Karen did not respect your degrees. And like Karen said to her, she said, "Listen, I'm a proponent of education, okay? If you felt like I was less than your degrees, then I am sorry, because I am so done with this conversation, and I am done with it too. At the end of the day, Wendy, you have got to find an identity outside of your degrees. Should you be proud of them? Yes. Did you work hard for them? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that should not define you. That should not define you. And you shouldn't be so worried about one person's opinion. Who the fuck cares if Karen respects your degrees or not? Karen ain't writing no checks that are attached to your degrees. And I get it that you want that respect. I get it. But at a certain point, Wendy, hell, I got 3 degrees, and most people don't even know that about me. Because I don't never talk about it. It's not who I am. Anyway, last but not least, honey, while they were at lunch, the whole thing about Jamal came up again. Karen and Giselle was going back and forth, honey, and in the middle of it, I don't know if Jamal called Giselle or Giselle called Jamal, child. But neither here nor there. Jamal was on the phone, and Giselle showed Jamal to the table, and everybody got a chance to speak. Listen, like Giselle said, it wasn't about whether you could get Jamal on the phone. We know he lives in the phone. It's about him being around us and being a part of this friend group. Because if you're not going to fully be invested in this friend group, then it is what it is, and we're going to divest from you. So again, I think it's just Karen being able to come back at Giselle the way Giselle has come at them over all the years. But it's whatever, child. And I also think they know or they suspect that this relationship is some bullshit. Because even Robin said it in her confessional, talking about something, if this is real. I said, ew. Did Robin say ew? Your friend said that. Anyway, that's about it, y'all. They ain't give me a whole lot of nothing. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.